Also in the news, RFK Jr. Wow, what a spectacle a number of these Democrats made of themselves. How about Comrade Bernie shrieking about onesies? This doofus thought it would be a good idea to find onesies, you know, the little outfits that babies put on? And apparently there were onesies with anti-vax messages on them. And so Bernie Sanders gets somebody at taxpayer expense to make big signs, blowing up the pictures of the onesies and shrieking at Bobby Kennedy, "Do you support the onesies?" This actually happened yesterday on Capitol Hill.
They are selling what's called onesies. These are little things, clothing for babies. One of them is titled Unvaxxed, Unafraid. Next one, and they're sold for $26 a piece, by the way. Next one is No Vax, No Problem. Now, you're coming before this committee and you say you're pro-vaccine. Just want to ask some questions. And yet your organization is making money selling a child's product to parents for $26, which casts fundamental doubt on the usefulness of vaccines. Can you tell us now that you will, now that you are pro-vaccine, that you're going to have your organization take these products off the market?
Senator, I have no power over that organization. I'm not part of it. I resigned from the board.
Yeah, that was just a few months ago. You founded that. You certainly have power. You can make that call. Are you supportive of this?
I've had nothing to do with leadership.
Are you supportive of these onesies?
I'm supportive of vaccines.
Are you supportive of this clothing, which is militantly anti-vaccine?
I am supportive of vaccines. I will. I want good science, and I want to protect.
But you will not tell the organization you founded not to continue selling that product. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Are you supportive of the onesies? What do you think about the onesies? This is a deranged lunatic. That's a senior U.S. senator. Do you like the onesies? My Lord. And it gets worse with Chuck Schumer. Now, these are the heads of the Democrat Party. Check out Chuck Schumer's clip talking about the resistance. This is how he describes the resistance. Does Chuck Schumer, a guy who's been around 100 years, the Senate Minority Leader, thank goodness, a guy who's been in politics since dirt was made, this is how he chooses to describe the emotional response of those who are resisting the Trump administration.
But the roots of democracy are deep. People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time in terms of trying to get this done. So, yes, I think democracy will have an effect, and we are going to keep at it.
Okay, well, and you wonder why the Democrats have about a 30% approval rating right now with the American people. Quinnipiac came out with a poll the other day. Democrats they're almost as down there with the media. The Democrat Party is in such trouble right now. And if you don't have lunatics like Bernie Sanders shrieking about the onesies, you got Chuck Schumer saying, I haven't seen people this aroused in a long time. Well, and then put those two goofballs aside and then look at people like AOC. She's shrieking and posting things like FAFO over the Trump administration, pivoting over the freeze of federal loans. And all they're doing is rewording it. And she goes, FAFO. That's an anachronism. I'll clean it up. Fool around and find out. That's what FAFO stands for. It's just not fool, but you know what the phrase is. This is who represents today's Democrat Party. If there were more John Fettermans and less AOCs and Chuck Schumers and Comrade Bernie Sanders, they'd be in better shape than they are right now. I mean, did you watch any of this stuff yesterday? The onesies? He had signs made. They had to pay for that. They went to a Kinko's and said, we want to blow up these onesies. because our boss, Senator Bernie Sanders, is going to really put it to Bobby Kennedy Jr. He wants to know if he supports the onesies. That was not a parody. That wasn't AI, what you just heard. That was real. That happened. Well, you want to know one of the favorite things that RFK Jr. said yesterday in his testimony that I loved? I appreciated him pointing out, and I've heard you say this to me many, many times when you call the show or email or text us. You often say, we so-called conspiracy theorists have been proven right over and over and over again. That's what RFK Jr. said yesterday, and he was pitch perfect.
Are you a conspiracy theorist?
That is a pejorative, Senator, that's applied to me, mainly to keep me from asking difficult questions of powerful interests. I was told that I was a conspiracy theorist. That label was applied to me because I said that the vaccines, the COVID vaccine, didn't prevent transmission and it wouldn't prevent infection, when the government was telling people, Americans, that it would. I was saying that because I was looking at the monkey studies in May of 2020. I was called a conspiracy. Now everybody admits it. I was called a conspiracy theorist because I said red dye caused cancer. And now FDA has acknowledged that and banned it. I was called a conspiracy theorist because I said fluoride lowered IQ. Last week, JAMA published a meta-review of 87 studies saying that there's a direct inverse correlation between IQ loss.
All right, so I'm going to assume
I could go on for about a week.
I mean, he's right. But, you know, this is a fundamental difference between our side and their side. We believe we get to make decisions about our lives. They think they get to make all the decisions about our lives. They want you to get a vaccine. You better get a vaccine. You're going to lose your job. You're going to be destroyed. This is why they hate Bobby Kennedy. Have you seen the list of big pharma contributions to these Democrat senators? We'll pull it up for you. I'll read it to you. It's astounding. It's absolutely astounding. And so at the end of the day, Bobby Kennedy better be confirmed. And to any senator who's going to vote against him, you better be ready to be primaried. Somebody's worried about, they're worried about Cassidy in Louisiana, always worried about Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski and Mitch McConnell. We'll see. They will vote against him at their own political peril.